please welcome Kevin McDonald.
Get my bearings here. I'm going to be brief because that's the format. I'm a rule follower, so thank you. We do web design, and that's at the core of what we do, but that's really not what we do. That's not the way I like to think about it. The websites we design, we work exclusively with independent insurance agents. There are a number of things that set us apart from other providers working in this competitive space. The sites we provide have over 300 searchable pages to start. That grows. We update the technology and the content. That grows. We have security. We have workflow control. We take very little of your time to get the site up and running quickly, because the most important thing is, to Dan's point earlier, what do you do with it? It's a tool. What do you do with it? And the answer to that question varies from agency to agency. So to address that, we have an ongoing best practice series that evolves as technology evolves, as your business needs evolve, as consumer behaviors evolve. And the good news, and we saw this in some of the earlier slides, the good news is that consumers still want traditional services from their insurance provider. They still want that. You have a new medium, and actually the web's not a new medium at this point, right? But there's lots of new tools being added to the web. There was a little blurb on the news this morning about Google Wave being released in a preview version to about 100,000 users, and that's something you're probably not aware of, but I think it has the potential to really change the landscape over the next year or two as that tool gets out there. So we're constantly updating our best practices, constantly helping you understand the best ways to leverage your tool. It's not hard, it's not time consuming, but it isn't always obvious, and our job is to help you do more with less. I want to talk a little bit about video, and I guess the PowerPoint slide said didn't format when it was merged into this one. That video thing down at the bottom should be a header. There are a lot of different ways to use video today, and we're all familiar with YouTube. That's a big distribution and production service. It's not the only one, it just happens to be the largest one. There's dozens of others. So you can do video calls today for virtually no cost using a service called Skype. Some of you may have used it. It's become very dependable. There's a free level of service. You can do video email. There's several services that provide that function, and we use one called iJot. If you're using one of the more current versions of PowerPoint, you can push your PowerPoint to a web video with audio, put it on your website. You can have streaming video once you've uploaded it to YouTube or another service like Vidler or Vimeo. You can just copy code, put it right on your website. There's really no technical expertise involved. So you can do things with your website without really spending any money. And then you can take these same videos and you don't have to make them publicly available. So maybe you want to provide references to potential accounts, commercial accounts or things like that. You get folks to say nice things about you on video, you put that on your website, you share links with whom you choose. So these things are tools, they're not gimmicks, they're not toys. What do you do with it? And that's part where the best practice comes in. You need to think about why you're putting video on your site, or why you're adding an article or an FAQ, or how you're going to use a website resource. Is it for customer development, to retain customers longer, to get greater share of wallet? Do you want to get more customers, more new, not just more, but quality prospects? And do you want to reduce service costs? And you can do all of these things, and each one of you is going to have a different objective. Your agency's your objectives in the current term, what you need to do tomorrow are all going to change. And we think we have the answers to the questions for how do you use these tools. I want to get a little bit more specific here about putting videos to work. I'm trying to be thematically consistent. We're giving away a free webcam with some instructions for how to use it in an insurance agency. Later this month, we have a free webinar on using video in an insurance agency. You can sign up on the Best Practice tab at confluencysolutions.com. But let me talk about some specific ways you can use a webcam, the ways you can use video and the web. All right, so welcome to the agency. Back in the day, you had a new customer. They were maybe marched into the principal's office and were introduced. hard to do today, particularly when so many things happen over the phone, but you can send a video email doing the same thing. Much more personalized, it makes an impression. Annual reviews, instead of thinking those as one-off forms you have to fill out, do a presentation using PowerPoint as part of our best practice resources. We have a slide set for that. Kind of going through the process, what do you need to think about? Save money, stay safe, make sure you're fully protected, and then do the form. Explaining the process, particularly the claim process. With claims, not knowing what to expect and what's going on is the major point of satisfaction or dissatisfaction in that process. You can use a video to explain that, or the purchase process, what's going to happen. And certainly with e-newsletters, they don't just need to be text anymore. You can liven those up a little bit with video. So just some ideas. We've got a lot more. I hope you'll take a moment to come back and talk to me about video and other things you can do with your website. I'm right straight back where by the way, we had the baby before E-Trade, way before.